What if the single most powerful decision you could make today costs you nothing, requires no special equipment, and is available to you every single morning of your life? What if the way you spend the first 30 minutes after waking is quietly determining your mental clarity, your emotional balance, and the quality of every hour that follows? Welcome to this session from Brainpower Audiobooks. What you are about to hear is not a collection of tips for becoming a morning person. This is a guided exploration of why the early hours are neurologically, psychologically, and biologically unlike any other time of day, and how understanding that fact can transform the entire arc of your life. By the time this session ends, you will know the science behind morning mindfulness, the specific practices that build calm and clarity, how to fuel your body and focus your mind, how to plan your day with genuine intention, how to dismantle the barriers that keep you stuck, and how to sustain all of it across a lifetime. Take a moment to reflect on your typical morning. Does it begin with a rushed race against the clock, frantic message checking, or the repeated slap of the snooze button? For most people, mornings have quietly become a source of stress rather than what they were always meant to be, an opportunity for renewal, presence, and purposeful focus. The world is patient. It will send its noise, its demands, and its urgency soon enough. The only question is whether you meet that noise already grounded, or whether it catches you unprepared. The quality of your morning directly shapes your mental clarity, your emotional resilience, and your overall productivity. When you start your day mindfully, you create a foundation of calm that helps you navigate every challenge with greater steadiness and purpose. This is not about adopting someone else's rigid schedule or forcing yourself to join any so-called 5 a.m. club. It is about discovering and crafting a practice that aligns with your own natural rhythms and personal goals. No single template works for every person because no two people wake up into the same life. What this session offers is a framework flexible enough to fit yours. Dedicating time for mindfulness each morning establishes awareness and intention for the hours ahead. It offers a rare window to set your direction, cultivate presence, and prepare both mentally and physically for everything the day will bring. Through consistent morning mindfulness, you enhance focus, reduce stress, and approach your work with renewed clarity and energy. These are not abstract promises. They are the documented outcomes of practices that have been examined in laboratories, tracked in longitudinal studies, and experienced firsthand by people across every walk of life. You might wonder what makes this approach different from the countless morning systems you have encountered before. The distinction lies in its emphasis on mindfulness and intentionality rather than rigid schedules or exhausting checklists. This session will guide you through creating a morning practice that feels natural and sustainable, one you will actually look forward to rather than resist. You will find practical strategies for overcoming common obstacles like time constraints and low motivation, while discovering how small, consistent changes compound into remarkable improvements in daily life. Whether you seek greater productivity, emotional balance, or simply a more peaceful start to your day, the principles shared here will help you build a morning routine that serves as an anchor for personal growth and daily achievement. The goal is a practice that energizes and centers you, setting a positive tone for everything that follows. One final thought before we begin. The title of this session is not accidental. Starting before the world does is not about waking up at an extreme hour or outworking everyone around you. It is about claiming a window of time that belongs entirely to you, before the inbox fills, before demands arrive, before the noise of the day reaches your door. In that window, you are not responding. You are not reacting. You are choosing. And that act of daily choosing, practiced with consistency and intention, is what this session is built around. Let us begin. Chapter 1: The Power of Presence at Dawn. The morning sun breaks through your window, casting gentle rays across your room. In this quiet moment, before the world fully awakens, lies an extraordinary opportunity. A chance to shape not just your day, but the entire trajectory of your life. The power of presence at dawn holds the key to unlocking unprecedented levels of clarity, purpose, and emotional stability through mindfulness practices that can genuinely transform your daily experience. Ancient wisdom traditions across virtually every culture have long recognized the early morning hours as sacred, as the ideal period for contemplation and self-discovery. Modern science now validates these age-old insights, revealing precisely how your brain's chemistry and neural activity during these early hours create optimal conditions for the mindfulness practices that can enhance your well-being and personal growth. What the mystics understood through direct experience, neuroscientists are now confirming through measurement. The morning hour is genuinely different. It is not a myth. It is biology. During the morning hours, your brain experiences what neuroscientists call the morning theta state. Theta waves dominate neural activity during this time, and because these waves are associated with deep relaxation and heightened receptivity, the morning becomes an ideal window for mindfulness. According to research published in the Journal of Neuroscience, morning theta waves facilitate improved learning, memory consolidation, and emotional processing. This natural state of heightened receptivity allows you to absorb and integrate new insights more effectively, making it the perfect time to establish practices that can shape your entire day. You are, quite literally, most open to change and growth in the moments right after you wake. Your body also operates on a circadian rhythm, a natural internal clock regulating various physiological processes. Between 6 and 8 in the morning, cortisol levels naturally peak, preparing you for the day ahead. This hormonal surge, known as the cortisol awakening response, increases alertness and energy. When you align your mindfulness practices with this natural rhythm, you harness your body's inherent biological advantages. Studies have shown that individuals who practice mindfulness during these peak cortisol hours experience enhanced focus and reduced stress throughout the day. Research by Goyle and colleagues found that morning meditation practitioners reported a 28% reduction in stress-related symptoms compared to those who practiced at other times. That is a meaningful, measurable difference, achieved not through medication or dramatic lifestyle change, but through the intentional use of time you already have. Understanding true mindfulness goes beyond simply sitting quietly or trying to empty your mind. It is about cultivating a state of present moment awareness held with acceptance and non-judgment. This practice involves training your attention to rest in the here and now, rather than drifting into thoughts about the past or future. And its effectiveness is not just anecdotal. It is backed by robust scientific research demonstrating real changes in brain structure and function. Neuroimaging studies have revealed that regular morning mindfulness practices can actually alter the architecture of your brain, with changes occurring primarily in regions associated with attention, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. A study published in Psychiatry Research showed that mindfulness practice increases gray matter density in the hippocampus, enhancing learning and memory. It also reduces activity in the amygdala, lowering stress and anxiety, while strengthening connections in the prefrontal cortex, where your decision-making abilities live. These structural changes do not happen after years of dedicated retreat practice. They begin emerging with consistent daily effort measured in weeks, not decades. The relationship between your mental state and physical well-being is particularly vivid in the morning hours. When you practice mindfulness upon waking, you create a positive cascade effect that influences both psychological and physiological functioning throughout the day. Morning mindfulness helps regulate key hormones affecting your mood and energy. Serotonin, the so-called happiness hormone that stabilizes mood and social behavior. Dopamine, the reward neurotransmitter that drives motivation. And melatonin, the sleep hormone that helps maintain your circadian rhythm. One of the most significant benefits of morning mindfulness is the mental space it creates before the day's notifications and demands flood in. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone and filling your mind with information, a mindful morning practice provides a buffer zone, a protected space where you can center yourself before engaging with the world's demands. This intentional pause allows you to process lingering thoughts and emotions, set clear intentions, build emotional resilience, and cultivate gratitude and perspective. Think of it as arriving at a busy intersection having already checked your mirrors, adjusted your seat, and planned your route, rather than speeding in with no sense of what lies ahead. Building this practice sustainably rests on three pillars: consistency, intention, and adaptability. Consistency means practicing at the same time each morning to establish a reliable routine. Intention means setting a clear purpose for your practice to enhance its depth and effectiveness. Adaptability means remaining flexible with the specifics while preserving the essence of the practice. These three pillars work together to create something both meaningful and durable over time. Removing any one of them weakens the structure. Consistency without intention becomes hollow repetition. Intention without consistency remains a wish. and rigidity without adaptability means the first difficult week ends the practice entirely. Your physical environment also plays a crucial role. Creating a dedicated space can significantly strengthen your practice. Consider natural light, air quality, ambient sound, temperature, and physical comfort. The space should be clean and uncluttered, free from digital distractions, comfortable but not so comfortable that you drift back to sleep, and peaceful. You do not need an elaborate setup. A designated corner of a room is enough. The signal it sends to your brain that this is time for mindfulness is what matters. The breath serves as your constant companion and anchor to the present moment during morning practice. Slow, deliberate breathing associated with mindfulness has been shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, reduce stress hormone levels, improve cognitive function, enhance emotional regulation, and increase focus and attention span. The benefits of morning mindfulness extend far beyond the practice itself. Like dropping a stone in a still pond, the effects ripple outward, influencing every aspect of your day. Those who maintain consistent morning mindfulness practices are more likely to experience improved relationships through enhanced emotional awareness, better decision-making, increased creativity and problem-solving ability, greater resilience in the face of challenges, and a heightened sense of overall life satisfaction. In the professional sphere, employees who engage in morning mindfulness typically experience higher productivity, better team collaboration, reduced workplace stress, and improved leadership capabilities. Each morning offers a fresh opportunity to deepen your practice, bringing a new chance to cultivate presence and expand your daily experience. What this means in practical terms is that your morning practice is not just preparation for today. It is an investment in the person you are becoming across months and years. Each consistent morning adds a thin, barely visible layer of stability and clarity to your character. No single session transforms you, but the accumulation of hundreds of them does. This is the quiet power of beginning your day with presence rather than urgency. Not a dramatic single turning point, but a steady, compounding shift in who you are and how you meet the world. Chapter 2: Building Calm with Mindful Habits. Every morning presents a blank canvas, waiting for you to paint it with purposeful actions that will shape your day. As your consciousness emerges from sleep, you hold a unique opportunity to establish practices that will ground you in presence and purpose. We have already explored the science behind morning mindfulness. Now we turn to the specific practices and rituals that can transform your mornings from rushed and reactive to intentionally peaceful. Building mindful morning habits requires more than willpower. It demands a deep understanding of how your brain forms and maintains new behaviors. Neuroscience reveals that habit formation occurs through what researchers call the habit loop, a three-part cycle consisting of a cue, a routine, and a reward. When you apply this framework to crafting mindful morning habits, you create sustainable practices that naturally integrate into your daily life rather than feeling like another burden on your to-do list. Consider morning journaling as an example. The cue might be the sight of your journal placed beside your favorite chair, accompanied by a steaming cup of tea. The routine becomes the act of writing itself, allowing your thoughts to flow freely onto the page. The reward manifests as the clarity and emotional release that follows, creating a sense of mental spaciousness that carries you into your day. Research published in the Journal of Behavioral Science shows that individuals who consciously design their habit loops around mindful practices are 64% more likely to maintain those habits long-term compared to those who rely solely on motivation. The lesson here is practical and direct. Do not depend on how you feel each morning to decide whether to practice. Design the environment so the practice happens almost on its own. Your physical environment acts as a reliable trigger for initiating desired behaviors. Environmental cues can bypass the need for conscious decision-making entirely, making it easier to maintain your routine even on difficult mornings. According to research published in the European Journal of Social Psychology, while the average time to form a new habit is 66 days, the range varies from 18 to 254 days, depending on the complexity of the behavior and individual differences. This understanding invites patience and self-compassion, recognizing that sustainable change happens gradually rather than overnight. If a new practice feels unnatural after 2 weeks, that is not failure. It is simply the early stage of a process that takes time to settle into your nervous system. Among the most transformative morning practices, journaling stands as a cornerstone for developing mental clarity and emotional awareness. It serves as a bridge between your subconscious mind, which has been active during sleep, and your conscious awareness. The act of writing by hand activates neural pathways that enhance memory, creativity, and emotional processing. Stream of consciousness writing, popularized by Julia Cameron as morning pages, involves writing 3 pages of unfiltered thoughts immediately upon waking. This technique helps clear mental clutter and access deeper insights that might otherwise remain buried beneath daily concerns. When it comes to meditation, different techniques offer distinct benefits for morning practice. Focused attention meditation, where you concentrate on a single point such as your breath or a mantra, helps develop concentration and mental clarity. Body scan meditation offers another powerful tool. This technique involves systematically directing your attention through different parts of your body, promoting physical awareness and releasing tension. Regular practice can improve posture, reduce physical tension, and enhance overall body awareness throughout the day. Breathing exercises form the foundation of any mindful morning routine. The 4-7-8 breathing technique, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system and reduce morning cortisol levels. You inhale for 4 counts, hold the breath for 7 counts, and exhale for 8 counts. This simple sequence creates a measurable shift in your physiological state before you have even left your chair. It costs you less than 2 minutes. What it returns to you is a nervous system that is ready to engage the day calmly, rather than reactively. During your morning practice, sound and silence both play vital roles. Complete silence in the early hours provides a rare opportunity for deep listening and presence. In a world structured almost entirely around noise and stimulation, choosing silence even briefly is a radical and restorative act. When you do incorporate sound, choose elements that support rather than distract from your practice. Certain types of instrumental music can enhance alpha brain waves, promoting a state of relaxed alertness ideal for morning mindfulness. Your relationship with technology during morning practices requires careful consideration. While digital tools can support mindfulness through meditation apps or guided exercises, they can also quickly become sources of distraction and anxiety. Implementing what experts call a digital sunrise approach, where you gradually introduce technology only after completing your core morning practices, helps protect the sanctity of your routine. Many experts advise delaying phone use for the first hour after waking, a practice consistently linked to lower stress levels and higher daily productivity. The reason is straightforward. Your phone is a portal to other people's agendas. Your morning practice is a portal to your own. Crafting mindful morning habits requires patience, commitment, and an understanding of how habits form and take root. Through consistent practice and gentle persistence, these morning rituals become not just habits, but anchors that ground you in presence and purpose throughout your entire day. The habits you build in the morning hours are particularly robust because they are formed during the period when your brain is most neurologically receptive. You are not fighting against a full day of accumulated fatigue and decision-making when you establish a morning practice. You are working with a rested, open mind. That is a meaningful advantage. Use it deliberately. Start smaller than you think you need to. Stay consistent longer than feels necessary. And trust that the compound effect of daily mindful action will reveal itself in ways that no single morning could ever demonstrate alone. Chapter 3: Fueling Your Body, Focusing Your Mind. Your body emerges from sleep into the soft light of dawn, every cell ready to write the story of a new day. This pivotal moment holds immense potential, a fresh canvas where mindful movement and intentional nourishment can merge to create an unshakable foundation for clarity and purpose. The choices you make in these early hours ripple through your entire day, influencing everything from cognitive function to emotional resilience. When you engage in mindful movement as sunlight first touches the horizon, you are not simply going through physical motions. You are actively rewiring your brain for enhanced performance. This fascinating process, known as activity-dependent neuroplasticity, occurs when physical movement triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein that promotes the growth and maintenance of neural connections. Research by Tang and colleagues revealed that morning movement practices capitalize on your brain's natural state of heightened neuroplasticity upon waking, creating an optimal environment for forming new neural pathways. During sleep, Your brain undergoes synaptic pruning, clearing away unnecessary neural connections. This creates a unique opportunity each morning to establish new pathways through mindful movement, which can directly improve cognitive flexibility. This enhanced mental agility translates into better problem solving and creative thinking throughout your day. The connection between body awareness and emotional regulation becomes particularly pronounced during morning movement. As you move through each conscious gesture, you create a powerful feedback loop between physical sensations and emotional states. This heightened body awareness serves as a cornerstone for emotional regulation. When you can accurately interpret and respond to your body's signals, you are better equipped to navigate the emotional challenges that arise throughout your day. Movement is not merely preparation for the mind, it is conversation with it. Yoga stands out as an exceptionally effective morning practice, combining physical postures, breath control, and meditation into a comprehensive approach to morning activation. The practice helps balance your autonomic nervous system, reducing stress hormones while increasing serotonin and dopamine. When you practice yoga in the morning, you are not just stretching muscles. You are creating a state of physical and mental harmony that can sustain you through your most demanding days. Dynamic stretching offers another powerful tool for morning activation, especially valuable for those with limited time. Unlike static stretching, dynamic movements incorporate continuous patterns that enhance blood flow and neural activation. Even a brief 10-minute session can significantly impact your physical and mental readiness for the day. The key is maintaining mindful awareness throughout each movement, treating every stretch as an opportunity to deepen your mind-body connection. The integration of conscious breathing with movement creates what researchers call respiratory locomotor coupling, a synchronization between breath and motion that enhances both physical performance and mental clarity through cortisol reduction. Lower levels of stress hormones create an optimal state for focused work and creative thinking, setting the stage for peak performance in both your professional and personal life. The way you fuel your body in the morning creates a foundation for cognitive function and energy levels throughout your day. After hours without water during sleep, your brain operates at a slight deficit that negatively impacts cognitive performance. When you prioritize hydration upon waking, you are optimizing neural transmission, enhancing mental clarity, and supporting your body's natural detoxification processes. Starting your day with warm lemon water, for instance, provides gentle support for digestion while creating a moment of mindful transition from sleep to wakefulness. It is a small act, but small acts, repeated daily, become the substance of a life. Your body's circadian rhythms significantly influence how efficiently you process different nutrients throughout the day. The first 30 to 60 minutes after waking represent a unique window to provide your brain with optimal fuel for performance. During this window, your body is particularly receptive to nutrients that support cognitive function, such as proteins that provide essential amino acids for neurotransmitter production. Creating a mindful eating practice in the morning involves more than selecting nutritious foods. It requires full engagement with the experience of nourishment. When you eat with presence and attention, you improve digestion and nutrient absorption while cultivating a state of mindfulness that can extend throughout your day. This might involve taking a few deep breaths before eating, expressing gratitude for your food, or simply noticing the colors, textures, and flavors of each bite. Mindful eating in the morning is an extension of the same awareness you bring to meditation or journaling. It is presence applied to the table. The true power of morning practices emerges when you understand how to combine movement and nourishment effectively. Rather than treating these as separate activities, consider them complementary elements of a unified morning practice. The sequence and timing of these practices can significantly amplify their combined effect, creating a compound result where the benefits of each enhance the others. Understanding your personal energy patterns is central to designing an effective morning routine. Some individuals thrive with vigorous movement followed by a substantial breakfast, while others prefer gentle stretching and lighter fare. The answer lies in experimenting mindfully to discover what combination best supports your unique needs and goals. Keeping a morning practice journal to track how different combinations of movement and nourishment affect your energy, focus, and mood throughout the day is one of the most practical tools available to you. Creating a sustainable morning routine also requires thoughtful preparation. Setting up your environment the night before, preparing workout clothes, setting out breakfast ingredients, filling a water bottle removes friction points that might otherwise derail your morning. The concept of habit stacking proves particularly useful here. By linking new habits to existing ones, you create a natural flow that makes your morning routine feel more automatic and less demanding of willpower. The habit that already exists is the scaffold. The new practice is what you build on it. Your morning routine should also evolve with the changing seasons and adapt to life circumstances. During darker winter months, you might emphasize indoor movement practices and warming foods. Summer might call for earlier wake times to take advantage of cooler temperatures for outdoor movement. This flexibility ensures your practice remains sustainable and enjoyable throughout the year, and that it remains yours. A practice that feels like punishment will not last. A practice that feels like care will. The integration of mindful movement and intentional nourishment is, at its core, an act of respect toward your own body and mind. Every time you choose to move with awareness rather than mechanical obligation, every time you eat with attention rather than distraction, you send a message to yourself that your physical and cognitive health deserve to be treated with the same intentionality you might bring to your most important work. Over time, that message shapes not just your mornings, but your relationship with yourself throughout the entire day. Chapter 4: Scripting Your Day with Intention. The gentle morning light bathes your desk in a soft glow as you grasp your pen, poised to craft the story of your day ahead. This moment holds transformative potential, the power to shape not just the coming hours, but the entire direction of your life's journey. When you approach your mornings with deliberate intention rather than reactive urgency, you create a foundation for lasting clarity, unwavering focus, and meaningful achievement that resonates through every aspect of your day. By consistently aligning your daily actions with your broader aspirations, you turn ordinary moments into stepping stones toward the life you truly desire. This is where you create your Ironmind, not in grand gestures or dramatic overhauls, but in the daily discipline of scripting your intentions with clarity and purpose before the world gets loud. The profound impact of morning planning extends far beyond basic organization. It fundamentally rewires your brain for enhanced performance and purposeful living. Engaging in structured morning planning has been shown to reduce mental fatigue and improve goal achievement. When you take a few moments to outline priorities and set clear intentions, you free up mental energy that would otherwise be spent making decisions on the fly. This proactive approach helps prevent the overwhelm that often accompanies a reactive mindset, leading to greater focus and sustained motivation throughout the day. Your brain's executive function, the neural command center responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-regulation, operates at peak capacity during the morning hours. This makes it an ideal time for strategic thinking, intention setting, and aligning daily actions with long-term goals. Individuals who establish a morning routine that includes structured planning often find that their decisions are more thoughtful, their productivity improves, and their ability to manage stress increases. The reason is not mysterious. A brain that has already chosen its direction is far less vulnerable to distraction than one that is still deciding where to go. There is a crucial distinction between setting intentions and simply listing tasks. While traditional to-do lists focus on external actions, setting daily intentions encourages a deeper connection to the mindset and energy you bring to your day. Those who shift from merely listing tasks to framing their day with meaningful intentions often experience a greater sense of purpose, increased job satisfaction, and a healthier work-life balance. By adopting this approach, morning planning becomes more than an organizational tool. It becomes a catalyst for clarity, effectiveness, and long-term success. The art of effective morning planning requires a careful balance between structure and flexibility. Your planning system should serve as a compass rather than a cage, guiding your actions while leaving space for unexpected opportunities and challenges. This is why intentional architecture, a systematic approach to organizing your day that aligns with your natural energy patterns and core values, is so important. A practical framework for this is what might be called the triple focus approach, combining three essential planning elements. First, values alignment. Begin by reviewing your core principles and long-term goals, ensuring your daily plans serve these broader priorities. Second, energy management. Map your tasks and commitments according to your natural performance patterns, placing demanding work in your peak hours and lighter tasks in lower energy windows. Third, strategic buffers. Build flexibility into your schedule preserving your core intentions while leaving room for the unexpected. A plan with no buffer is not a plan. It is a set of expectations waiting to be broken by the first interruption. The power of visualization serves as a crucial complement to traditional planning methods. When you engage in embodied visualization, meaning not just imagining your intended outcomes, but fully experiencing the emotions and sensations associated with them, you activate the same neural pathways involved in actual task performance. Take time each morning to vividly imagine yourself moving through your day with purpose, handling challenges with composure, and creating a positive impact through your actions. A visualization of this depth is not daydreaming. It is rehearsal. The brain responds to vivid mental imagery with the same preparatory chemistry it uses for actual experience. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology confirms that the physical act of writing by hand activates unique neural pathways that enhance memory and learning, which in turn helps people commit to their intentions. Writing your plan by hand improves retention and recall more reliably than typing it out. There is something about the physical act of forming words on paper that anchors intention in a way that keystrokes do not. If you have been planning exclusively on a screen, a simple journal and a pen may be the most useful upgrade you can make. One of the greatest challenges in daily planning lies in maintaining clarity and purpose when circumstances inevitably shift. The solution is to develop what might be called flexible persistence, the ability to hold firm to your core intentions while adapting your specific approaches as needed. Individuals who practice flexible planning typically experience less stress when facing unexpected changes compared to those with rigid plans. The practice of intentional time blocking transforms your calendar from a constraint into a powerful tool for maintaining focus. Those who implement purposeful time blocking consistently report more focused work time and fewer task-switching costs. Creating time blocks specifically designed to support your morning intentions, while maintaining flexibility for unexpected demands, gives you both direction and breathing room. Regular brief check-ins throughout your day also serve as calibration points, allowing you to assess how well your actions align with your intentions and make necessary adjustments while staying true to your core purpose. These moments of midday reflection do not need to be long. A single minute spent honestly asking whether your actions match your morning intentions is enough to recalibrate and continue with renewed clarity. Your evening reflection serves as a powerful bookend to your morning planning, creating a cycle of continuous improvement. Take time to evaluate not just what you accomplished, but how well your actions aligned with your intended purpose and values. Use this time to identify patterns in successful implementation, note opportunities for greater clarity, and acknowledge moments of purposeful achievement. What the morning opens, the evening closes, and what the evening reviews, the next morning builds upon. The integration of digital tools with your planning practice should enhance rather than replace your core intention-setting routine. A balanced approach, using digital tools to support rather than dominate your planning process, consistently leads to better follow-through on intentions compared to either purely analog or purely digital systems. Through consistent practice and gentle refinement of your morning planning routine, you create not just a schedule, but a framework for maintaining clarity, purpose, and meaningful achievement throughout your day. Each sunrise brings a fresh opportunity to align your actions with your deepest values, creating ripples of positive impact that extend far beyond the immediate hours ahead. The key lies not in controlling every moment, but in approaching each day with clear intention and adaptable focus. Planning your day with intention is, in the end, a daily act of self-respect. It says that your time, attention, and energy have value. It says that you are not simply available to whatever arrives. It says that your goals, your relationships, and your sense of purpose are worth defending with deliberate thought each morning before the world begins making its claims on you. That is not arrogance. That is clarity. And clarity, practiced every morning, becomes the quiet foundation of a life that feels genuinely yours. Chapter 5: Overcoming Common Morning Barriers. As the first rays of sunlight pierce through your window, the gap between your morning aspirations and your actual morning can feel uncomfortably wide. While your mind yearns for those peaceful moments of mindful practice, various obstacles stand ready to derail your intentions. Understanding and overcoming these barriers is not simply a matter of willpower. It requires developing a deep awareness of the psychological, environmental, and practical challenges that shape your morning experience. Morning resistance runs deeper than simple laziness or lack of motivation. Your brain's natural tendency to conserve energy creates what researchers call psychological inertia, a powerful force that resists changes to established patterns. This resistance manifests in familiar ways: hitting the snooze button, finding endless reasons why tomorrow would be a better day to start, or simply feeling unable to override the pull of existing habits. This tendency does not reflect a character flaw. It reflects complex psychological and environmental factors creating genuine resistance. Naming it accurately is the first step toward working with it rather than being defeated by it. The phenomenon of decision fatigue plays a crucial role in morning resistance. Every choice you make depletes your mental energy. When you wake up, your brain immediately faces a barrage of decisions: what to wear, what to eat, how to structure your morning, when to leave. This constant stream of choices can tax your willpower from the very moment you open your eyes. The cognitive load feels particularly heavy when you are trying to establish new routines or break old patterns, making it easier to fall back into familiar behaviors rather than maintain new practices. Your brain's natural sleep-wake transition, known as sleep inertia, creates another layer of resistance. This groggy state typically lasts 15 to 30 minutes, but can extend up to 2 hours if sleep quality is poor. During this window, cognitive performance is significantly reduced, making it particularly challenging to engage in mindful practices or make beneficial choices. Understanding this biological reality helps you design morning routines that work with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them. Practically speaking, this means your first morning action should be simple enough to perform even while groggy. Getting out of bed and drinking a glass of water requires almost no cognitive effort. That small act, completed, creates momentum. Willpower operates like a muscle. It can be strengthened through consistent practice, but it also becomes fatigued with use. The morning hours offer a unique window when willpower reserves are naturally higher, yet this advantage can be quickly depleted if you face too many decisions or challenges at once. By understanding this dynamic, you can structure your morning routine to preserve and maximize your natural willpower reserves. The key to overcoming morning barriers lies not in relying solely on motivation or willpower, but in creating robust systems that support your desired behaviors. These systems must address both the psychological and practical aspects of morning resistance while providing flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. Your physical environment plays a crucial role in supporting or undermining your morning routine. Creating alignment between your physical space and your intended behaviors, what some researchers call environmental congruence, significantly increases the likelihood of morning routine success. This goes beyond simple organization to include elements like temperature control, lighting design, and sound management. Preparation rituals can transform your morning experience by reducing decision fatigue and creating natural momentum. By implementing what might be called an evening preparation protocol, you effectively remove common morning barriers before they arise. This includes laying out clothes, preparing breakfast ingredients, setting up your practice space, and creating clear action triggers for your morning routine. Each small act of evening preparation is an investment in tomorrow morning's success. The version of you who set things up the night before is doing a genuine act of kindness for the version of you who wakes up tomorrow. Social support and accountability also play vital roles in overcoming morning barriers. Individuals who establish what researchers call routine partnerships, relationships specifically focused on supporting morning practices, are significantly more likely to maintain those routines long-term. These partnerships can take many forms, from workout partners to meditation groups to online accountability communities. For these partnerships to work, they must provide support and gentle accountability without inducing pressure or judgment. One of the most significant barriers to morning practices involves managing energy levels and time constraints. The perception of time scarcity often creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where rushing and stress become default morning states. However, your perception of time can significantly influence how you actually experience and use it. By consciously reframing your relationship with morning time, you can transform even a 20-minute window into a grounded and effective practice. 10 minutes of intentional breathing and one written intention is infinitely more valuable than 10 minutes of aimless scrolling. The question is never really whether you have time. It is how consciously you choose to spend the time you have. Understanding your chronotype, your natural energy pattern across the day, allows you to align your morning activities with your body's own rhythms. The concept of energy sequencing builds on this awareness. By arranging your morning activities in alignment with your natural energy fluctuations, you create a flow that feels effortless rather than forced. This might mean starting with gentle movement before progressing to more demanding practices, or beginning with meditation before engaging in creative work. The challenge of maintaining morning practices during unpredictable circumstances requires what might be called routine resilience. This involves creating multiple versions of your morning routine: a full version, a medium version, and a minimal version that can be implemented depending on available time and energy. Having a minimal viable routine means that even on your most difficult mornings, you maintain a thread of continuity with your practice. Understanding and implementing these principles, while maintaining compassion for yourself along the journey, can transform morning barriers from insurmountable obstacles into opportunities for growth and deeper self-awareness. Remember that consistency matters more than perfection, and each sunrise brings a fresh chance to refine your approach to beginning your day with purpose and presence. Every barrier you encounter in the morning is, at its core, information. The snooze button tells you something about how your evenings are ending. Decision fatigue tells you something about how much unnecessary complexity has crept into your routine. Sleep inertia tells you something about the quality and quantity of your rest. Rather than treating these signals as failures, treat them as feedback. The mindful morning practitioner is not someone who never struggles with mornings. It is someone who has learned to read those struggles honestly and respond to them with patience, practical adjustment, and the firm understanding that showing up imperfectly is still showing up. In Chapter 6, A Lifetime of Mindful Beginnings. As sunlight spills across your meditation cushion each morning, you glimpse the endless potential that lies within your practice. Your journey of crafting mindful mornings represents more than a simple sequence of habits. It reveals an evolving path of growth that deepens with each sunrise. Like a master gardener tending to precious seedlings, you have learned to nurture the essential elements of presence and purpose. Now it is time to understand how these practices mature and flourish throughout a lifetime of conscious cultivation. Your morning routine breathes and grows like a living organism, requiring both consistency and adaptability to thrive. Individuals who maintain long-term practices do not simply repeat rigid sequences. They develop what researchers call dynamic consistency, an approach that preserves core elements while allowing natural variation. This leads to a far higher likelihood of maintaining morning practices over years and decades compared to those following inflexible routines. This evolution mirrors the neuroplasticity principles explored earlier, where morning movement builds new neural pathways. Similarly, your maturing practice creates deeper mental grooves while opening fresh connections. As your routine develops both roots and branches, you experience sustainable transformation, change that becomes more stable and effective over time rather than requiring constant reinforcement. Consider how this manifests in meditation practice. You might begin with guided 5-minute sessions focused on breath awareness, the foundational techniques discussed in earlier chapters. As your practice matures, you naturally develop the capacity for longer periods of concentration and more nuanced awareness. However, this evolution does not invalidate simpler techniques. They remain valuable tools in an expanding repertoire, much like the habit loops that initially helped establish your routine. What was once an effort becomes ease. What was once ease becomes depth. This is the natural arc of practice committed to over time. Your practice evolution creates ripples that extend far beyond the morning hours, influencing every aspect of your life through what experts call practice cascading. This builds on the ripple effect described in the first chapter, where morning mindfulness naturally flows into your work, relationships, and decision-making. Individuals who maintain consistent morning practices often experience significant improvement in work-life balance and a dramatic increase in relationship satisfaction. Creating lasting transformation requires more than just maintaining habits. It demands conscious integration of your practices into the fabric of daily life. This process of lifestyle embodiment transforms morning mindfulness from isolated rituals into fundamental aspects of who you are. Those achieving this level of integration typically report higher life satisfaction and a stronger sense of purpose. The practice is no longer something you do. It becomes part of how you move through the world. The key to sustainable growth lies in value alignment, ensuring your morning practices consistently reflect and reinforce your core principles. This creates a powerful feedback loop where habits strengthen values and values fuel habits. When your routines align with deeper purpose, motivation flows naturally rather than requiring constant willpower to maintain. Your growth accelerates through what might be called practice amplification, the strategic combination of different morning elements to create enhanced effects. For example, performing a brief meditation before journaling increases the quality of insight generated compared to either practice alone. Proper sequencing of morning activities can greatly increase the overall effectiveness of the entire routine. Consider how energy flows naturally from gentle movement to meditation to creative work, each stage preparing you for the next. A sustainable framework for growth involves alternating periods of more intense focus with periods of consolidation and integration. Like the flexible persistence discussed in the planning chapter, this rhythm allows you to honor both your drive for growth and your need for rest. Those who develop motivation driven by internal values rather than external pressure are significantly more likely to maintain long-term practices. This intrinsic sustainability is the foundation of everything that lasts. It is also worth acknowledging that traditional metrics often fail to capture the subtle, yet significant changes that occur through consistent practice. Tracking your own evolution might involve observing 4 dimensions of growth. Consistency, moving from following a basic routine through adapting to circumstances to full natural integration. Depth, progressing from surface-level practice through growing awareness to deep understanding. Impact, developing from immediate effects through lasting changes to life transformation. And integration, shifting from a practice that feels separate from daily life through partial integration to full embodiment. Progress in these dimensions is rarely linear. It moves in spirals, circling back through familiar territory and each time finding it slightly changed, slightly richer. Your morning practice creates transformative ripples, positive changes extending far beyond individual benefits. These ripples can touch every area of your life, including overall life satisfaction, relationship quality, career fulfillment, physical health, and even financial stability. These benefits often extend outward to family members, colleagues, and communities, creating environments where mindful living becomes more natural and accessible for everyone involved. Sharing your practice experiences with others creates another powerful feedback loop. Those who regularly share their journey tend to experience an increase in their own consistency and depth of practice. This creates mutual growth through shared learning and support that strengthens everyone involved. As your practice matures, it must adapt to life's natural seasons while maintaining its essential benefits. This requires practice resilience, the ability to modify your routine while preserving its core elements. In practice, this means creating different versions of your practice for varying circumstances, establishing minimal viable routines for challenging periods, and maintaining connection with essential principles during life's transitions. Life will change. Your practice must be fluid enough to travel with you through all of it. Remember that each sunrise brings fresh opportunities to refine your approach, deepen your understanding, and expand your positive impact. Your morning practice represents both a daily ritual and a lifetime journey, an ongoing exploration of what becomes possible when you begin each day with presence and purpose. You started before the world did. That small daily act of claiming the morning for yourself is not trivial. It is, quietly, one of the most consequential things you can do. May your mornings continue to be sources of clarity, growth, and transformative change, creating ripples of positive impact that extend far beyond yourself. And as you close this session and step forward into your own morning practice, carry this with you. The discipline does not have to be dramatic to be real. One breath taken with full awareness, one intention written with honest clarity, one morning claimed before the noise arrives. Repeated across days, weeks, and years, these small acts of presence become a life of remarkable depth and purpose. That is the promise of the mindful morning, and it is available to you every single day. This has been Start Before the World Does, a Brainpower audiobook session. Thank you for listening.
Want the written version? Grab the PDF for half a cup of coffee, $2. Link is in the description and the comments.